Alright, what is good? It's your boy Shimmy again. Yes, we're back with some more My Hero. No long talks. Lock the f in. Now let's get into it. Boom, if you don't remember last episode, Deku's fighting Shigaraki and he steals Danger Sense. Then him and the other users realize they can't beat this guy head on. They gotta attack him from the inside. And to do that, Deku has to give up one for all. And then he transforms into this crazy form with Black Whip. Now the old All For One users see this and they're like, what the? He's using Black Whip to move his bruck up body? The bald one ain't never done anything like that in his life. And it's like he's instantly putting to use an idea he came up with in the heat of battle. He really is top dog. So is what he's doing with Black Whip, is that like a quirk awakening? And could Deku technically awaken every single quirk that he has? Back to Kudo, he says, that's perfect. He ain't driven by duty like us, it's because he respects and admires quirks. That's why he can do what he do, and because he was a quirkless lil Ute before. And that's what makes One For All shine even brighter. We move back to Deku and he says, say no more. I'll have to cope with Shiggy's speed without gear shift since I'm giving him Kudo. All we got left is this last gamble, and y'all already know, go big or go home. Always bet on black. We learned One For All can only be transferred through DNA if its holder wants to transfer it. It can even be given to a user unwillingly. Kudo and Bruce tested out this theory, and that's why they're both from the same era. Now they're gonna use blood as a transfer this time and use it on an open wound. But thanks to Shiggy's regeneration, the wound ain't gonna be open for that long. The only way we get the drop on Shiggy is if we hit him at the point of impact. But Deku's got a problem. The man is barely conscious from the recoil he got from gear shift. But he ain't no hoe. He knows he's gotta hit the next attack proper. We move to Shiggy. He looks up and he says, nah, something ain't right. During that last attack, some weird shit was going on, so I cut my own arm off just before he could hit me. No, like, are we serious right now? How are we supposed to win when he's doing shit like that? Shiggy's like, look at this. I know he's got some broken ass plan he's about to use on me, but I can't prove it. He says Deku's in pain all over. He can barely even breathe. Any that much pain would give up if they were normal. But Deku ain't normal. That's the #1 hero we talking about. Shiggy says, fine bitch. I'ma destroy you. I'ma destroy Phase Adapt. I'ma destroy this whole country. Everything's going. And they both go in. Deku says, this is where I transfer. And Shiggy says, this is where you die. Boom, Deku goes in, does a smoke screen, and is like, why the hell does he keep using that? I have the most useless power. Which you right, but trust Deku. Shiggy's not stopping though. He goes in full speed and says, all I gotta do is decay. Then whatever you plotting, it ain't gonna work cause you'll have to defend. And he touches the ground. But that was all a part of Deku's plan. The guy lifts up the whole ground with Black Whip. Shiggy's like, what the? When did he even have time to grab this large chunk? I've been watching the man this whole time. And we learned when he was sent flying, he shot strands of Black Whip underground and carved out the earth just to prep for this moment.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
Nah, he's actually insane because how are you thinking this far ahead? Shiggy says, oh, this is like the UA anti-decay strategy, eh? But it's all good. I still got about 85 different quirks to use on you. You're done. And he starts staring, looking for Deku, and he feels something behind him. He grabs it, but it's not Deku, it's his cape. Bro's like, what the hell is this shit? That's the decoy tactic he used when he was fighting sniper shit. Shiggy's like, hold on. The light from my search quirk is pointing to that thing. What's going on here? It should be Deku. He looks, he's like, hold on, that's blood? If that ain't Midoriya, then where the hell is he? He's looking all around, but he says, oh word, I get it now. But Deku pulls up right in front of him and says, it's too late, boy. Basically, they gambled on the possibility that his search quirk would see the other users and lock onto them, since he could actually see them. And that allowed Kudo to hide in Deku's blood and create this opening where we can give him a rude thump. Again, the battle IQ is actually crazy. Bro got hit once with the search quirk and he said, I understand it now. Even N is shocked seeing what Deku's doing. Back to Shiggy, he sees the punch coming and his body don't even want to take it. He's scared. But Deku goes in, gives him a rude left punch to the chest. But he also gets cut too. And this is the punch where Kudo's getting transferred. Kudo says, listen twin, don't worry about me. I was only a phantom anyways. Hold on, so he's really about to die? So he don't even get his little happy ending. Nah, that's actually my dog. I actually can't believe he's gone.
I just lost my dog.
He says my mind and will have passed to him. Before he can use me, and we just see him flying into Shiggy's space and crashing into the crack. And Shiggy just stops moving. This is how my homie looked when he saw his girl on stage at a Chris Brown concert. Now they're both in the air and we just see a giant Dabi and Toga. Dabi says, in person you're super gross. Like, gang, look at yourself too. What are we talking about? And Toga says, oh, your homies with staying alive? Shit, I want to join the league too. Deku's like, the hell is going on? But then it changes and we see the sports festival. And this is when Todoroki uses fire for the first time and says, I want to be a hero too. He turns around and then Spinner's here too? Like, get bro out of here. That's the weakest League of Villains member, I don't care. Deku's like, am I off a perk? What is going on here? But Yoichi says, listen, your memories and his are starting to blend. And says, hey Deku, don't let up. Kudo did his big one, but it wasn't enough, so keep giving him belt to ass. And we just see Shiggy really going through it. Boom, Deku goes in again straight for him, ready to do another punch. And we see Mineta and Froppy. Now Yoichi's thinking, he's like, is this happening because One for All is resonating with my bro's quirk? And since we transferred the second, we've reached a critical point. He says, my bro wished to have a strong heart, but the one strong heart is here. We have to take down this good. Then he starts running and we see all the One for All users going in ready to attack. And we see Deku's punch. Boom, they both go at each other and it changes to the first time they met at UA and we see the parallels between them. Look at them back then and then now. I can't lie, this is deadass before and after dating a light skin. So they both go in screaming. Deku gives him another punch and all the users start going straight into Shigaraki's world. But they have a problem, only one gets through and the rest get rejected. And Deku's hand flies back. But Shiggy still took some damage from that. The bald one's like, what the hell? He rejected us? I didn't even know that was possible. And we learn N is the only one who broke through. And that's the damage he's taking. Deku's like, this can't shut us out. We got this. He's like, I wish I could just punch those fingers and transfer. But the transfer only worked when he punches him in the chest. The fingers don't count. Shiggy's starting to make noises and we finally see a young Shigaraki and his pops. Deku's like, say no more, I'm getting close. I have to keep trying as long as it takes. All I'm getting from all this is that Shiggy just needed to go to therapy like 6 years ago, and the story would have been blessed. Back to the fight, even more fingers start coming from Shigaraki, and we just see this flying camera watching the fight. We cut to UA and someone hijacked the satellite? Who even does that? Was it Lizard Squad? They finally start evacuating the people from UA and the mechanic girl says, I created that camera to let Deku know I'm still working on his gloves. Deku's my client, so I still gotta keep an eye on him. And La Brava says, listen, Deku changed my man into a law-abiding citizen, so I gotta root for him. And then UA crashes into the ground. This youth's looking at the camera and he's like, what the hell? Now we move to the evacuation shelter and all the men are still watching the fight. They're like, is that a bunch of hands? What's going on? This hero says, hey, wait. And it's Eri. She starts running. Also, W character design. It's a shame he's a bum though. Eri tells him, move out the way, man. I need to go help Deku. But bro says, Deku's about 100 kilometers away. How you gonna get there? Oh, I'll ride a train or something. Nah, they don't work because the damage we got from fighting Shiggy, All For One, and Gigantomachia. And they're not getting fixed anytime soon. But he also says she don't even have enough rewind energy, so she couldn't even bail us out if we needed her to. Like, she couldn't even help Eraser. He tells her, listen, I know you want to help, but all we can do is just pray for a dog. She remembers him saying, that's your dream, Eri? So I gotta work harder. And we just see him getting grazed again. And she starts to cry, but then Kota pulls up. He says, listen, when I see Deku doing his best, I gotta step in too. Now back to UA, everyone's getting taken away, and Monoma is on a stretcher. I can't lie, he had a top 5 performance in this final battle. Already more useful than 90% of the cast. Momo and Denki are watching the fight off her phone, and bro says, Midoriya's all dark again. I can't lie, I really wish the Vigilante Deku arc was longer. If it was for like a whole year or something. But Denki says, you know, in the comics, characters like me and Kirishima in this situation, we just say we 100% trust him. I don't know if I can do that though. Midoriya's probably the strongest right now, but I still can't be like All Might and say we're gonna be blessed. Does me being worried mean I don't trust him? Damn, I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time I've seen some real emotion from this guy, where he's not just being dumb. Then we see Froppy crying and we learn Uraraka is in the helicopter and she's on the verge of death. They're taking her to the hospital. We move and we see Hawks and Tokiomi on the ground cooked. Hawks is like, oh, is that a girl? And he remembers her saying, if all of us are just a little bit capable of seeing each other united as one, then we could really do this.
Together we're stronger.
And we just see Deku going in again. Okay, do y'all think Prime All Might could beat this Shigaraki? If he's trying to kill him from the jump, he ain't trying to save him like Deku. Now, we cut to this guy and Lady Naga, and he's trying to spit game. Like, bro, we have a whole war and you're out here trying to get buns? It's not every day, man. He says, why are you trying to help Midoriya? And she says, he opened my heart. Everything he does is what them evildoers hate the most. He says, when we fight villains, we gotta make them lose the will to fight fast. But Deku's on a thorny path because everything ain't black and white for him. Sometimes that shit's magenta. She says that's why I wanna root for him. Deku's still fighting and the people at the shelter are starting to root for him again. We cut back to Shiggy and this guy's in shambles. He's like, stay away. Like, gang, aren't you supposed to be evil personified? You're acting like a hoe right now. Then we get a flashback of his pops and he says, Tenko, stop. Deku just goes in, punches Shigaraki again, and the users go in and transfer, except one. Shimura did not make the transfer. She's like, what the? Why the hell is it only me who didn't make it? And we learned this hatred ain't really from Shigaraki, it's from the pops. Back to Deku, he's still punching, then he gets transported into a crib. He remembers when Shiggy was saying the destruction of everything stems from that house. Damn, what's wrong with that house? That shit looks nice. The way he turned out, you'd think he really grew up in the trenches or something. Deku goes to ring the doorbell, but then another Deku shows up, says, what you doing here? Deku says, listen, I'm going to figure out Wagwan and save Shiggy. Nah, you not coming in here. So Deku starts to go walking and then Truck-kun tries to take him out? Y'all don't even know Truck-kun is the strongest character in anime. Then Fine Shit appears and she tells him, listen, that's probably Shigaraki's core, you gotta get in there. So Deku starts running. Stain drops down and stabs him. And it turns into this guy and then Overhaul? The hell is going on? Deku just moves him out of the way and he goes straight to the door, opens it. Then he sees a picture of young Shiggy and Fine Shit. So Deku walks in the crib, goes to the back, and he just sees the pop beating up Shigaraki. Nah, we're not rocking with that at all.
Time to go!
Alright, that's all for this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Yes, I told y'all boys I'm not playing anymore. The games are done, okay? Drop today. Yes, we're dropping tomorrow. And we dropped Wednesday this week too. That's 3 Bomba Pussy Ross Clap videos. On the second channel, we dropped Gen V. If you haven't seen that, go and watch that video. What are you doing? Yes, you. I'm talking to you right now. Go on and watch that one. But yes, we're about to go crazy on that channel. Second video should be dropping in a week or two, something like that. And yeah, dropping tomorrow too. We're gonna have another non-My Hero video coming very, very soon too. So yeah, we're gonna keep the momentum going. We're gonna keep flowing. We're gonna keep growing. 85K subs. Like we're close, guys. So really appreciate y'all boys and girls for really getting me here. You know, it does not go unnoticed, and we're gonna keep grinding. You know, you see the work I'm putting in. We dropping every week. We're not missing no weeks. Like, you seen that video where the guy's like, I'd rather die. Like, real life, I'd rather die. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I appreciate y'all boys supporting me and growing with me. And yeah, I look forward to what's coming out in the future because we got some big stuff. And I'm gonna catch y'all boys and girls in the next video. Peace.